We live in an era of constant friction. Every day is a high-speed collision of notifications, forced decisions, and the absolute need to curate our own lives. We argue in comment sections to defend our egos. We doom scroll to anticipate the next crisis. We try to micromanage every possible variable, gripping the steering wheel of our daily routines until our knuckles turn white. We do this because of a deeply held, quiet assumption. We assume the universe is keeping score, that if we exert enough moral effort or force enough control over our environment, reality will eventually reward us. 2.5 millennia ago, a Chinese text called the Tao Te Ching offered a distinctly different perspective on how reality actually operates. Chapter 5 opens with a line that violently rejects our need for cosmic importance. Heaven and earth are not humane. They treat all things as straw dogs. If the cosmos is entirely indifferent to our morals, our anxiety, and our relentless efforts to steer the ship, where exactly does that leave us? To answer that, we have to look up. The cosmos operates on a scale of billions of years, entirely unbothered by human timelines, stress, or definitions of fairness. This flowchart tracks the life cycle of a literal straw dog, a physical effigy made of woven grass used in ancient Chinese rituals. Leading up to a ceremony, this object receives absolute reverence. It is dressed, offered sacrifices, and elevated to the highest altar. The exact second the ritual ends, that sacred status evaporates. The effigy is tossed into the dirt and trampled by the departing crowd without a second thought. The text is describing radical impartiality, not cruelty. Nature provides sunlight, rain, and storms equally to a mighty oak and a blade of grass because it possesses zero ego. Absolute cosmic power relies entirely on this lack of favoritism. It sets the baseline for how any highly effective system should run. When the Tao Te Ching scales this cosmic principle down to the human level, it introduces an archetype called the sage. The sage represents the ultimate leader, acting as the optimal operating system for moving through the world. The sage leads by mimicking cosmic impartiality. They refuse to micromanage their subordinates. They do not force their own personal definition of benevolence or goodness onto the people around them. Instead, they maintain a neutral, unforced space. They allow situations, conflicts, and people to naturally grow, peak, and recede without heavy-handed, top-down interference. This introduces a mechanical paradox. If a system is empty and refuses to actively intervene, how does it generate energy to get anything done? To explain this, the text offers a physical analogy. This cross-sectional schematic shows the internal structure of an ancient bellows. The most crucial feature is the heavily highlighted, completely empty chamber inside. The operational power of this tool depends entirely on that emptiness, or shu. Because the center is void and the walls lack rigidity, the mechanism can adapt to motion without resistance, expanding and contracting fluidly. That unforced, flexible movement translates directly into output. By maintaining the void, the bellows generates an endless, powerful flow of oxygen. The mechanical lesson is precise. You don't generate power by tightly packing a space with action. You generate power by maintaining an empty, flexible conduit. Which brings us right back to the frantic, overmanaged exhaustion of our modern lives. After laying out the physics of the bellows, Laozi delivers a sharp diagnosis of the human condition. Much speech leads inevitably to exhaustion. Look at what happens to our bellows schematic when we apply our modern behavior. When we cram our minds with anxiety, over-communicate, and try to force outcomes, we fill the empty chamber with static blocks. The mechanism locks up. The air stops flowing. The text offers one final practical directive to fix the broken machine. Better to hold fast to the void, or hold the center. Holding the center means stepping back. It means quieting the ego, remaining adaptable to the situation as it unfolds, and acting as a conduit for reality rather than a stubborn obstruction to it. By surrendering the need to force control over every variable, we stop exhausting ourselves. We finally align with the infinite, generative power of the universe.